my voice is better. The last time.
Is it?
The last time I think I was sick. Or actually one of the episodes I was listening to. Anyway. Hi, dolls. Kenny here.
And I'm Harley Quinn.
Of course you pick her.
And do you know what a Harlequin
is? You know what a Harlequin is? You know what? Grace was talking about that. She did. I don't know if you watched Grace's review of the trailer. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Grace Randolph is a YouTuber who
love her.
She does movie reviews. In my opinion, she's a very unbiased person. She speaks from more of a business perspective instead of like what she likes and doesn't like. I mean, of course, she has her own opinions about things, but she more so talks about things from a business perspective, and she doesn't go into things like, oh, I'm a Marvel fan or I'm a DC fan, so I'm gonna shit on this or shit on that. So I definitely just appreciate that a lot. Even though there's a lot of people out there, mostly men, who always criticize her and say that she's always so biased. The thing is, when she said something negative about DC, they always call her a Marvel fangirl. If she says something negative about Marvel, they always call her a DC fangirl. It's like,
I feel like it's hard for a woman, period. I'd say when they're talking about what they think, because they always want to instead of, because to me she's all about facts, and I would give it to her. So. And all of that she's experienced because she's in the business, and she knows a lot of people in the business, so she gets a lot of inside information. And
this isn't just like a me or you liking movie and going and critiquing it, which I do want to do for some certain episodes or whatever. Like if we go see a movie, critique it.
I feel like because we're going to see Joker tonight, I guess for next week's podcast we can review it.
Yeah. We can do that, but I would like to do that. But again, this will be coming from just two normal people. She went to film school. She went to film school.
I took cinema in high school.
She worked in high school. She also worked for Marvel. Published her own comic book series for a little bit.
Which I found that out recently. Like I didn't really know that.
I want to look and see if I can get some of the. I don't know how many.
One's called Suburbia.
Suburbia or Suburbia. One of those two.
One of them.
Some beer.
Yeah, something beer. And she's also like worked on actual Marvel comics, right?
That she worked for them. That's what she was doing.
So lovely.
See, I would not have left. They would have had to kill me to get me out of that damn building. Like, sorry, we no longer need you to work here. Oh, you down? What, you need this floor's box?
Do whatever you need.
But said all that just to say, in Grace's review, she didn't too much care for Margot Robbie's voice this time around.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Which I think I watched it with y'all.
It could have been, John.
Well, no.
My memories
I
are
didn't
fleeting.
watch because I didn't watch it with y'all. Let me. We watched the night before the trailer came out. When she was doing the posters.
Okay.
But I did watch it.
But and like I said, we love Grace, but I don't always agree with everything Grace says. I mean, that's anybody. You can't.
Yeah, I didn't
agree.
see anything wrong with her accent.
But I didn't see anything wrong with her accent.
If you remember, when I watched the movie, I told you in the movie it sounded like she couldn't keep the accent.
I mean, I'm sure she can. She's tried her best.
Yeah.
Because there's a part in it. I'd have to play the trailer again to get into it, because there's a part where she's talking and she says a word that most New Yorkers their accent shows through that very hard, and she kept it out. I'll find it probably after this or something if I can remember, and play it for you. But her not keeping the accent wasn't the thing for me, and really isn't what Grace said, I don't think. It could have been part of it, but she was saying she doesn't like the way that she sounds because she doesn't sound like Harley Quinn. And my thing is, she still sounds like Harley to me, at least her depiction of Harley. She sounds really good to me, but you can tell through the video and through the synopsis that I gave before we even knew what the plot was going to be. She's hurt right now. Yeah. This is Harley going through a breakup, and then she ends up in some mess with these birds of prey women, because she's at a bar drinking when she says that line. Do you know what a Harley Quinn is? Like, her voice has gotten deeper. She's not so happy because she's not happy.
I also think that with this movie right here, they also trying to do a rebranding. It seems to me.
Of Harley?
Yeah.
Instead of making her so reliant on Joker.
Yeah, not only that, because you see they've really changed her fashion. They've really...
She is very bright.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like they are trying to do a rebranding. And so with that comes other things. And of course, some people are going to like it. Some people are not going to like it, whatever.
I'm always here for the evolution of a character. Now, when you start taking a character too far away from its core principles and values, that's when it becomes a different thing. Harley, of course, is somebody that was always up under Joker and everything like that. She was always a sidekick or secondhand to Joker. But there are things in the comics where she breaks off from Joker. And just like Grace had made a comment about for her to not want or to not to be through with clowns. Yeah. She seems to be doing a lot of things replicating what Joker was doing and all that. I'm like, well, Joker essentially raised her. He made her who she is. I mean, like, truly made her who she is. So, of course, she's going to have that stuff in her. And then, just coming from a normal human aspect, a lot of women, men, whoever, like I'll say women and gay men, for the most part, when they break up with somebody, of course, it's still going to be thinking about them, looking at them. If they broke it, this is a reset breakup for her. So, and then the way she was treated with them, there's a lot of trauma involved in that. So, I can't wait to see the movie. I feel like it's going to be really good. Also, when you're saying about her fashion, I don't know if I got an email from Hot Topic, which I had to block them because I don't want emails from them anymore. But Hot Topic sent out an email. They have an exclusive line for the Harley Quinn movie, and they have that jacket in there. I don't know if it's the exact jacket because I don't know if the jacket, because the one that they're selling on Hot Topic, the what is it? The caution tape jacket, because that's what that is. Yeah. A bunch of caution tape on her arms.
I wear it. I want it.
It's $80, but I want it. I want it. It's like that, and the actual jacket part is clear. I've been wanting to get a jacket like that. I've been wanting to get like a jacket made out of roses. Didn't somebody just have something like that? I think
do
Wendy
they?
was
if they
showing
do,
it.
show it to me.
I have to watch one of the last episodes of Wendy. I remember her showing something about a rose jacket or something.
Yeah, it's like absolute, like just actual roses, I guess, being sewn into it. And I saw, it's a very old picture of Lana Del Rey when she first came out, and she was wearing a jacket like that, and I've been wanting one.
I mean, that may be something that we could do a DIY if we ever get the energy to. Okay, but getting into the meat and potatoes of the podcast today.
Ooh, meat and potatoes. I told you I can't eat today.
Well, you can't dream. Well, speaking of eating, we're going to get off of so many topics. But anyway,
all right.
I told you last night or the other night I was watching Sex and the City. Yeah. And that episode was on when they were in California. And Miranda had went on a date with this guy. And he's like, he would chew his food. He would chew it like 4 or 5 times and would spit it out. And Miranda's like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm tasting my food. And then she was like, well, do you plan on swallowing your food? He was like, you think I got this body by eating like this, or by eating? And I'm like, first of all, sir, you look like you're still hefty. So, because he truly did. Yeah. I would have gotten, or I wouldn't, not to say I would understand it, but I would have believed it more if it was somebody who was like really lean or really thin. Like, oh, you think I have this body by eating? I could buy that. But when you still look like you got a good extra 70 pounds, I don't see how you could say that.
Well, maybe he had a good extra 200 pounds.
Maybe. But he has said it, and I was just like, even if that's your thing, I mean, I don't want to eat with you. If we sitting here eating.
I don't want to sit there. You know, like those people that sit up and just smell food.
In your towel.
It's like when you see people that just smell food, and I'm just like, okay.
No. I can't smell food and not eat it unless it's nasty.
I mean, I have to take pictures today, and I'm very big, about being the skinniest I can be while I'm taking the pictures. And so, I'm not going to eat till after I take the pictures. The only thing is, I probably will be taking those pictures at like 10 or 11 at night. And what time is it now? 12:30.
You got a good 12 hours to go.
So I'm going to be just sipping on whatever.
You are going to have to buy you a good fancy feast.
Yes, I am. I'm going to eat like I haven't eaten before.
The fanciest of feasts. But do you want to start your topics first or me?
I'll go since the topic I'm...
Or do you want me to have Siri flip a coin?
Sure.
If she even pops up. Oh, it went to Face ID. Hold on. I forgot how to make her pop up.
You can just say, hey, Siri.
Hey, Siri. Flip a coin.
It's heads.
We didn't even pick.
Well, I was like, I'm heads. Okay, thank you.
Well, that was a bust. I forgot how to play heads. Or how
clearly
to
you did. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go. The topic I have here is a very, very hot topic. So it's a good thing to start off on. So something that's been in the news for a long time. I can't remember exactly when it actually happened, but it was whatever her name. Her name is Amber Guyger. Mm-hmm. Who murdered the black man in his apartment because she thought he was in her apartment and whatever. So she shot him. And the biggest thing is that's sticking with me is, of course, it's just blatant how differently certain types of people get treated. Yeah. Because I was reading this article where the jury was talking about how they just didn't feel, because, you know, she was originally sentenced to 28 years for every year that he would have lived.
See, I didn't know that.
And so the jury, they said it took them 5 minutes to come to a decision that she was guilty. That wasn't the problem. Yeah, they just felt like 28 years was too harsh. They felt like it was too harsh. And I was like, she murdered somebody. Yeah. She murdered an innocent sitting down man eating ice cream. And in his home. And she premeditated to do this. And 28 years was too harsh. Yeah. So apparently there was a lot of sympathy. And there was like this one person who was talking about, she clearly has been hurting after this and blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Man, of course she hurt. She about to go to motherfucking jail.
It does not negate
it's not
the
like
fact.
She was hurting because she killed somebody. She's hurting because she's about to go to jail.
Because if this was a person of color, y'all would have gave them life.
Right.
So I'm like, and y'all thought 28 years was too harsh. They ended up giving her 10. And that's what really bothered me. And then also, a lot of people, what's really been, you know, really, really going viral because of all the hugging. Everybody's hugging her.
That's what
the judge hugged her. The brother hugged her.
The judge gave her a Bible verse.
Yeah, the judge gave her a Bible verse. And then what was it? What do they call them? The bailiff was fixing her hair and shit. And I'm just like,
y'all
really?
treating this woman like fucking royalty.
She
after
is
what
a
she
murderer.
What bothered me the most about the story, because I had forgotten about it essentially, because when it first broke, this was like earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like it's almost been a year if it hasn't.
Of her, she literally walked into she came home after what she said, I had just worked it was either a 10 or a 12-hour shift. She was like, I had just got off of a 12-hour shift. I came home and like she thought she was in her home, which I'm just kind of confused. Was his door unlocked? Because how did she get in?
Because there was witnesses, people next door who heard her banging on the door. She said the door was open. If you remember, she said the door was ajar. And then she went in and she saw a man and she shot him. Now, witnesses and next door neighbors said they heard her banging on the door. So, no, the door was not ajar. So this woman blatantly lied about what happened. So I don't see how y'all thought 28 years was too harsh. But I thought it wasn't enough.
And one thing that I had saw about it, because since I didn't bring up this, because I figured you were probably going to bring it up, I didn't put that in my notes for the topic I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Since I didn't do that, I didn't go through all the articles and bring up the stuff that I knew I want to talk about with it, which I should have anyway. Because there's text messages that had went through with this of her, of just showing her like maliciousness towards people of color, black people, talking about how she wanted to do all these kind of violent acts towards them and stuff like that, which I'm just like, in itself shows you that was a racist person who was going to commit some kind of crime if they could get away with it. I know they were talking about there's a red placemat, or what is it, doormat, in front of either her or his house, and they were like, so how did you miss this? Yeah. And to think that this is not yours.
She knew exactly what she was doing. Yeah. And like juror 34, because like the people who are being quoted in this article, they're not giving any names. They're just giving like their juror number. Juror 34 said, I feel like this case was not like any other case. You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that kill unarmed black men, when they go out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Guyger, ever since she killed that man, she has not been the same. She showed remorse in that she's going to have to deal with that for the rest of her life. I don't see how that negates the fact that she did it. Yeah. I don't see...
It wouldn't have negated it if it was a person of color.
For instance, okay, one notorious murderer or whatever that did like a homicide, like say for instance, Ted Bundy. If he would have later on felt remorse, does that bring back all of the people that he murdered and raped? Yeah. You know, it doesn't change the fact that she murdered this innocent man, whether he's a person of color or not, it doesn't matter. So because, and I can't help but feel this way, that because she is a white woman, y'all feel so sorry for her. Because if this was a person of color, y'all wouldn't be fixing her hair in the pew. Y'all wouldn't be giving her Bible verses. And even like if you remember when we watched that movie based on Ted Bundy, how the judge really liked him.
The judge really liked him, and all those women that were lined or girls lined up talking about how cute he was.
How cute he was. Shit. He's so dreamy.
Like he's too dreamy to have done. Are you serious, bitch?
See, that's the issue. I'm like, it doesn't change the fact she could be up there crying and praying Hail Marys, but it doesn't change the fact, that she murdered this innocent man. And it really bothers me how desensitized people are to this. And I mean, okay, if people are like, y'all aren't understanding the art of forgiveness. I'm like, I'm not saying that, okay, because the brother hugged her. I'm not saying that the brother couldn't forgive her if that's what he chose in his heart that he needed to do for his own personal growth. But at the same time, I wouldn't hug that bitch. I wouldn't want to touch it, because if I got close enough, I would have strangled her.
I was going to bring that part up when you were done, because I was going to say a lot of people were judging the brother for hugging her. Now, to me, it was no issue for the brother to go hug her.
No,
if it was in him to have so much forgiveness, or he didn't want to deal with this for the rest of his life of always having this grudge and this malice towards this woman that he probably wouldn't even see again. But having this grudge and malice towards her, if he didn't want that eating him up alive, because that kind of shit will eat you up.
Yeah.
If he wanted to go do that, he wanted to hug her, go. That's all him. I can't make that judgment call on him for him to or to not do it. But what was weird to me is the judge doing it. I didn't feel like the judge needed to do it. I didn't feel like that person was supposed to be
I feel.
Rubbing, like fixing her and all that shit.
That means that somehow she was become personally attached to this case. And to me, you shouldn't be doing that.
And I, like you just said, he can do it, but I would not have been.
No.
I could not have trusted myself enough to go to this person that just killed somebody that I love and hug them.
Yeah.
I would carry, like I said, that's something that eats you alive. It would be eating me up, bitch.
Yeah.
It would just have to devour me for the rest of my life, because I would not dare go hug that bitch. I'd have a few choice words on that stand, and that'd be that. I'm like, Judge, you better take a nap. If he has to take 2 people to jail.
I have nothing against him and his journey of forgiveness. That's where it brought him.
Because everybody's journey of forgiveness is different. Some people are more vindictive, like myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't be there. I would not be there.
Some people, like, I have not grown enough as a person to be able to forgive like that. I am happy that he is. Hopefully, I wish the best to him.
Yeah.
And his family.
Yeah.
But bitch, no. Let me catch you. Let me catch you without these security guys near you, bitch.
So I'd have been counting down them 10 years. As soon as this bitch get out, I'm gonna be the next in jail.
I'll be at the door waiting for her to get out of this jail.
Sadness, but that's basically the thing. Is just that I am glad that she is getting time, because a lot of these people get off, and so at least
she's like scot-free almost.
Yeah, at least she's getting time.
Because that's what a lot of people thought when it first happened, that she wasn't going to get any time.
Yeah.
They thought that she was about the police were going to get away with again, but not to say that that they did something really good. I am happy that they put her in jail, but I feel like it should have been more time than that. That 28 years thing, I think, would have been fine. 10 years is a damn near essentially a slap on the wrist compared to what you would have given if the roles were reversed.
Yeah.
If a black cop had broke into this white woman's house, shot her on the couch,
he would have got like 5 life terms.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't understand. I understand, like, they're calculating by, the act or whatever, but at the same time, is like, who's gonna live 5 lifetimes? Like, what is the point?
Just in case you come back, you're gonna go back to jail, bitch.
I'm locking you back.
But going to a lighter topic, the first one that I have is Nicole Scherzinger was responding to talk about Pussycat Dolls.
Okay.
Having a reunion. Okay. What happened was she was on whatever show this was, and they were discussing what's the Masked Singer. They were discussing the Masked Singer, and then the lady segued into, because the lady had asked her, would you have recognized if one of your fellow Pussycat Dolls members were under the mask? She was like, oh, of course, I know my girls. Which I'm just like, girl,
did they sing?
Do they sing?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
But she was like, of course, I know my girls, and blah, 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 just whatever she was saying about that. And the woman segued into, like, oh, so now, since we're talking about the Pussycat Dolls, I've heard rumors that you guys are getting a reunion going. And Nicole was like, she's like, yeah, I've heard the rumor. She was like, but I'm filming this show, and is it America's Got Talent she's on too? And then there's two other shows that she's judging on as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
Still doing it while this is happening, while she's doing The Masked Singer.
Okay.
So she was like, I'm doing all of that. And she was like, it's just not in my time frame right now. I would love to do it, but I wouldn't. She said, I just wouldn't rule anything out, is what she said. And then she like looked at it and she was like, now you guys take, like, looked at the camera and was like, you guys take that. And I was like, okay, I feel like she's negotiating. That's what she's doing right now. But my thing is, I don't know why she would want to go back to the Pussycat Dolls after the situation that happened. Because for people that don't know how the Pussycat Dolls broke up, a lot of it stemmed from most of those girls being upset that they were glorified backup dancers. And, I mean, at the same time, this is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You knew when you were coming into this that this was going to be the Nicole show because they portrayed it to be so.
Yeah.
They went through a lot of girls, because I remember watching the E! True Hollywood story about it.
Because wasn't it like a Las Vegas thing at first?
Yeah. And Nicole was always going to be the main one. She had the best voice, has the best voice from all those people.
Yeah.
As we know, that was from Melody, who swept it down. She Christina Aguilera. But the girls were upset that she was getting most of the shine. And so they did a little thing for them on their second album, Doll Domination. Is that what it was called? I think?
Yeah.
They did a little thing for them and it gave each of the singers their own song toward the end of the album. I don't know if it was the deluxe. It probably was the deluxe. They all had their own song there. None of them did good. None of them, because y'all can't sing.
Let me get closer to the mic so y'all can hear it.
But they were all upset about it and pissed, and they can't. A lot of them, like in the E! True Hollywood story, they were dogging Nicole so much. I don't remember not one of those girls that didn't have something negative to say about Nicole. As far as being controlling or dominating or whatever the situation was that they were saying.
Yeah. And
my thing is, if I was Nicole, knowing that, I would not want to go back to the Pussycat Dolls. Y'all girls can have it. Let's see how far y'all go without me. Because go ahead and put Melody front and center. Let's have it.
I don't know if Pussycat Dolls even do well in this day and age.
I don't either.
But also, I feel like the only reason Nicole would do it, it'd be different if she was like Beyonce and had a good solo singing career, which she didn't. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, but she was very popular, a part of the Pussycat Dolls, which to me makes no sense at all.
How are you the main vocalist, really the only vocalist in the Pussycat Dolls? When y'all break up, you continue singing songs that sound the same.
Yeah, they really did.
And you can't get popular. I'm like, did people only like her when she had 5 other girls dancing behind her? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, because it's kind of different from like Beyonce and like really all 3 of the girls who went solo and their music sound completely different from what Destiny Child was doing.
Yeah.
And then that's more of a risk. But Nicole was doing the same stuff because
really
she was writing the music. So her music sounded exactly the same and like nobody cared. And I was just like, okay.
Maybe if they had titled it Nicole and the Pussycat Dolls, they would have felt better. Because then you know for a fact who's top billing here.
I don't think it would have mattered. I mean, there's a lot of people that went from girl groups and did great. So, like Missy Elliott, Diana Ross, who else?
Most of them that come from girl groups don't go nowhere.
Well,
Beyonce is one of the only, the biggest one from a girl group. I don't think any other.
Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, Patti LaBelle. But those kind of people had a very unique sound to themselves, to where in star power, because that's another thing that you need. And I don't know.
I feel like maybe that's the issue with Nicole is because
I don't think
she's got a great voice, but I don't think she has a distinct like quality that just makes her like that's that bitch, you know. And maybe that's the issue.
And maybe that's why she did better in the girl group, because where she doesn't have a distinct one, it is distinct when you have 5 other bitches.
Yeah. 5 other bitches that ain't distinct.
You can't help but be distinct. But carrying on to another topic about another musician.
Okay.
So this happened essentially this morning. Either this morning or yesterday, or last night. I mean, Cardi B versus Access Hollywood.
I was like when she was. I haven't seen the whole thing. I was on Twitter either this morning or before I went to sleep, and I just saw a little small clip, and she was, and this is all I saw. It was like, I hope your mama get AIDS.
Yes, I don't have to play that. I don't have to play that end part for you because I was gonna play the clip all the way up until that point. But since you know that part now,
so I don't even know what this in regards to. But I was just like, oh my god, I was like, why would you say this, girl?
But Cardi B got mad because Access Hollywood put out an interview that they did with her. And the headline is, Cardi B admits baby culture calls someone else mommy because she works so much. And Cardi B got upset about that. She was like, that's not the fuck I said. And
first of all, no parent's going to say that.
Yeah. This is the... Wait, where's my video, bitch?
Technical difficulties.
Here we go. This is the video of what she actually said.
Okay.
5 hours.
Well,
that
the clip that they
in the
played.
studio is 5 hours that I gotta spend with my kid because it's like, yeah, it's okay that your mom is gonna take care of her. Everybody could take care of your kid. You got the money for somebody to take care of your kid, but when you come back from that work and your kid really don't want to spend time with you, they want to hug your mom more than you, or they're calling your mom mommy. That's that really feels whack.
Now, when Cardi saw
So that was...
So she's talking about her mother, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she's talking about her mother. So she says, I'll show you the clip of her actually being pissed off where that, hope your mom get AIDS. I'll play that for her in a second. But so Access Hollywood put that out. And that what Cardi is saying is that they cut up what she said. She said she gave them like a 2-minute explanation. They chopped it up and put out that with that clickbait headline.
Yeah.
She said, don't nobody else call her kid mommy, or her kid doesn't call anybody else mommy. She was just saying this is why she does not stay away from her kid a lot because she doesn't want that to happen. Yeah, that's what she was trying to explain.
Well, why do you see? That's the thing is, a lot of these interviews they end up chopping stuff out and making things into stories.
And that's why I feel like Beyonce doesn't do interviews anymore.
I wouldn't because first time somebody edit out what I say. The thing is, this is why I'm not a celebrity, and probably why I will never be a celebrity.
My thing is, honestly, I would do the interviews because it just gets the word out about what you're doing. Until at least I'm at Beyonce's level where you don't need to get the word out.
I feel like that's
but
what
I
does.
would have somebody, like you have your camera crew, I'm going to have mine.
Right.
If you put out some shit, I'm going to have evidence of what I actually said.
Because
we're not about to play these
I'm
games.
I'm be in the interview chair and be like, Kenny, stand right here. Press, record.
Like, that's just, I honestly feel like that would be the smart thing to do. You have enough money if you're doing this stuff to hire, even if you don't, have a friend turn on their iPhone and record this. If you don't feel like holding it, bitch, put it on this tripod real quick.
Right.
Stand it up against this wall. Just let it record. Like, I would need to have that there because the moment you, bitch, decide to edit my motherfucking words, I'm going to go onto Twitter, especially with social media being as big as it is now, celebrities can clap back as quickly as they want to.
Yeah.
I'm going to post this. I'm like, okay. This is why you don't believe these people. Because I didn't say that bullshit. But I'm not going to play all of this clip.
Okay.
I mainly just wanted to play it for you because I want you to hear how Cardi B sounds unhinged right now. Like, she clearly is somebody that when she's really upset, she cannot articulate her words.
Yeah.
I mean, she can barely articulate them when she's normal.
Wow.
But she says the same thing a lot. And it's just a lot of yelling. Yeah. And then there's points over where I'm like, if suddenly she's about to start crying, but I don't know if that's just her voice or not.
But I can understand that, people are very sensitive when it comes to their children.
Especially her. And
I can understand that
she's like,
for them
she's
to put
so
that
sensitive to the point
out,
where you could be like, oh, she look cute in that dress. What the fuck are you saying? That's how sensitive she seems to be about her daughter. And it's like, girl, I gave her a compliment. I won't say shit else.
Right.
She ugly from now on to me.
I think definitely, I feel like you have to watch what you do when it comes to kids. And for them to put out that information and making it clickbaity like that, saying that, oh, other people, my daughter's calling other people mommy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would be hurt if my child was calling, if I had a child and my child was calling somebody else daddy. Mm-hmm. Like, what?
But this is the clip.
I really cannot wait till these niggas call me back because I'm about to really fucking violate these niggas right fucking now.
Oh my God.
So,
She
So let
pacing.
me tell you how I'm doing. So let me tell you how I'm doing press for rhythm and flow, right? So I'm doing motherfucking press for rhythm and flow, and these bitch ass nigga, this little motherfucking bitch ass nigga, I had interviews with him before, but this time I feel like you niggas really fucking try. I don't play when it comes to my fucking kid. Alright? So let me tell you something. So these motherfuckers, Access Hollywood, these bitch ass niggas, motherfucking ass motherfuckers, I'm a really violent
Oh
child
my
right
God.
now.
She is
So let me
it.
tell
Nothing.
you something.
So far.
Not really.
They're asking me. They asked me a question, right? They asked me a question of me doing different ventures and how has things changed when it comes to motherhood. So I explained to them, I gave them like a 2-minute answer, right? I gave them like a 2-minute answer and I said things have changed because a lot of people expect me to do so many things. Like a lot of people expect me to be in the studio and then I gotta do other shit. Like, right? Like I film for Rhythm and Flow. I film for Hustlers. I'm working on fucking Fashion Nova and I'm doing other business shit that is about to come out. So it's like, I'm sorry if I take time of my day that I could be 5 hours in the studio, but I spend the 5 hours with my kid because yes, I can have somebody babysit my fucking kid. Yes, I can have somebody babysit my kid, but it's like, it's a whack feeling when your kid don't fucking, not even trying to fuck with you and try to call somebody else mommy. That's why you gotta spend time with your kid. So these motherfuckers chop what I said off. These niggas chop what I said off. The whole explanation why I spent time with my kid, why I put my kid before work, they chop it off and then they're gonna name it on YouTube. Cardi admits that Culture calls somebody else mommy due to work. Bitch, that's not what the fuck I said. Don't use my motherfucking kid for clickbait, bitch. Don't fucking cuss it off. Try to make me look like I'm a fuck-ass mom. That's not something that I'm not. I don't play that shit. Y'all niggas got me fucked up. Don't you ever, Access Hollywood, when I see y'all niggas, watch. I'm not even gonna touch y'all, because everybody wanna be suing people. I'ma spit at y'all motherfuckers like this.
Oh my God.
Don't play when it comes to my kid. Don't
That's
use
what
my
I
kid.
need to hear because like I said, the rest of it I was gonna play because I wanted you to hear the part where she says, "Hope your mama get AIDS."
Yeah.
Which really, girl, that's when I mean the whole thing.
I feel like she didn't even say that. I mean, I understand everything else, but that's going a little far.
it really is because I feel like you had a leg to stand on when you're going off about how they clickbaited the title and how they cut up what you said. But your argument now loses all credibility, which I already feel like you were already not belittling, but you were watering it down by the aggression of how you were putting that message out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that she can't be aggressive, but sometimes
I feel
to get your point across, sometimes you have to know when to check it at a certain point and make sure, okay, I want you to understand what I'm saying, so I'm not going to yell and scream and curse at you. Or maybe I'll curse at you, but I'm not going to yell and scream about it.
Yeah.
Because people are less likely to listen when they're being yelled at, when they're being talked down to like that.
Yeah.
So to articulate your point more, I would have just talked it out. And even when she got to the point where next time I see you, motherfuckers, I'm not going to hit you because people be suing. I love that part.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not stupid. Like, even when she got to that part, say whatever you want to say. But once you got to, I hope your mother gets AIDS, everything you just said before that just went out the window now.
It really did.
Because now all people about to focus on is that you just
Is
because
that you
now
said
you're talking about that clickbait that clickbait title.
Yeah.
Guess what their next title about to be? Cardi B wishes my mother had it.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't get more clickbaity than that, does it? I think what she should have done, and this is what I try to do in any situation where I have gotten very invested in it and very upset. Mm-hmm. You need to take a moment, step back. Calm down before you get into it. Anytime, like, I try not to address people when I'm angry. Mm-hmm. I try to be sure I have a level head. That way I can get my thoughts together. And
usually in that time, I usually will argue both points.
Yeah.
If I can see your side of it, I'll try to argue, even if I'm mad about whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
I'll try, when I'm taking my time to cool down, argue your side, argue my side, and I try to come to a conclusion like, okay, well, I was wrong in that.
Yeah.
Or, bitch, you was wrong, and let me tell you why you was wrong.
Why you? But I think she should have calmed down. I feel like she posted that video as soon as she found out.
I definitely believe that.
Yeah, and I feel like she shouldn't have done that. She should have calmed down and should have said, okay, I'm going to calm down, and then I'm going to calmly get on here, and I'm going to say what I got to say. to, protect my image and who I believe I am. And which is fine. It's fine for her to be able, because I do like that about social media, where you can get online and like say, okay, well, this is what really happened. This is what you heard, but that's not what it is. And so I feel like it is okay for her to get online and defend herself. But all of that, I mean, it just makes you, and this is always what it comes back to. It just makes you seem like an angry person of color. And that's all people are going to see us as anytime we get mad, even when it's validated. Anytime we get mad, we are the angry savages at the end of the day. And
but I don't even think, Cardi just seems like the person where she does not take the time to think. There's two sides of her that I've seen as far as it comes to responding. She's either not gonna do it or she's gonna clap back at you hard as fuck. Yeah. There is no soft in between. Whenever she's been mad at somebody or has something to clap back with, she's either gonna ignore it because she just don't care enough, or if she does care enough, she's gonna hop on and she's gonna start talking like that. Yeah. That's all I've ever seen. I've never seen her come on like, that wasn't true. Don't fuck with me again. I'm gonna let you know right now. It's always threatening lives and talking about spitting on people, fucking them up, or cursing them out, or your mama is this, your daddy that, your sister, your kid, your family.
At the same time, I understand it because I know where she comes from. This is her background. This is all she knows. I mean, when you're a person dealing with gangs and all of that type of stuff, I mean, all you know is a clapback.
I mean, but there's a clapback and then there's a let's go overboard with this. Yeah. Rihanna's great at clapbacks. Yeah. Rihanna will say something, leave it the fuck alone. She ain't gotta say shit else. Yeah. That's a good clapback. When you can clap back once and leave it alone, that is a legendary clap.
Well, I'm very much all about a mic drop.
Yeah. See, Rihanna's great at, I bring up Rihanna just because she is one of the best ones to do it, in my opinion. Yeah. Because Rihanna will say something and mic drop. Won't have to say shit else about it. Don't ever talk about it again. But everybody else is scrambling. What happened? Why did you say that?
It ain't safe in these streets no more. But I mean, Cardi girl, I still love you, but calm down. So
he was gonna bring up his other topic while I put on his shoe because I got a dainty feet.
Do you? Have fun with that. I do love those shoes though. When I got them in the mail, and Aaron was in the kitchen when I was trying them on, and when I first pulled them out because they look so tiny, I was like, "Are these an 8?" I was like, "I don't know if I can fit these." I mean, they were, thankfully, but so something that has left America shocked and distressed. Well, definitely I was distressed. Is when Sony announced that they were going to split ties with Disney. And so there was going to be Spider-Man was no longer going to be in the MCU.
This story about to tickle me.
So with that happening, then they were swearing it was never going to happen. We were never going to work with them again. Blah blah blah, whatever. And then of course, Kevin Feige started. Now it's going to be over Star Wars, and then
or at least he's going to make some Star Wars movies. I don't know if they're getting rid of not Kathleen Kennedy. Is that her name? Kathleen Kennedy.
No, I think
I can't think of the woman's name.
She's doing a smaller role.
It is Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy does Star Wars, and I was getting her confused with Amy Pascal, who is over Sony. Yeah. Who he can't stand.
No, but she ain't going nowhere.
She truly ain't.
So with that, of course, when we found out Kevin Feige was going to be with Star Wars, then the next day, they had solved their problems with Sony, and now they have worked out an agreement and a deal, and that Spider-Man is supposed to have 2 more movies and will be in
another MCU movie.
So this morning, at least I believe it was this morning or last night. I guess it was last night because Bob Iger was on the Jimmy Kimmel talk show, and
he's been doing his rounds because he's putting out a book.
Or
he released a book. He was on The View, and he's their boss. So. Well, and Whoopi was saying it too, because I saw her.
That's ABC, right?
Yeah, and so they were like they were talking about him. I forgot the name of his book, but it's essentially he's talking about his whole journey from he used to be like an intern or something like that, and he made his way to where he is now, where he's running shit at the place. So they were talking about he's talking about his journey in that book, and he's revealing a lot of different details and secrets and shit. And Whoopi was like, she was saying something to him, and as she's introducing him, and she was like, and he's our boss. And I was like, girl, I'm glad you put that there. Because these people know.
So y'all say anything off the wall.
Right. You may not have a job by the end of this day.
So with that, Bob Iger was on the Jimmy Kimmel show last night, and he was basically saying that Tom Holland helped them negotiate. What really Tom Holland is the reason why they're still in business.
Really, I didn't know
Sony,
that.
With Sony, he said, of course, when they did D23, right after Tom Holland did his panel, he got Bob Iger's phone number and called him. And it was like, what can I do?
What flaws can I want to get this?
So it was basically Tom Holland was the one that mediated this entire agreement or whatever, trying to make sure
that at all.
So he's saying we need to thank Tom Holland.
I mean, yeah, and that makes me really happy. Not only because it's coming back and I loved Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but it just shows me how invested he is in that character. Yeah. Because he could have been fine with just playing Spider-Man in Sony and not being part of the MCU anymore. Yeah. But not only for himself, but maybe for the fans as well, he wanted to do this because he loves playing that character. The fans love him as that character. That just shows his support. I don't know if there's any other actor that I can think of that has fought for their character like that. Aside from people in the MCU. Usually when you hear about these stories, it's somebody from the MCU wanting something to work out, like when James Gunn got removed off of Guardians of the Galaxy. How most of them were talking about how they want him to come back. Yeah. And it's like, I don't really see stories like that outside of that. And I think it's because the MCU has become such a cultural thing now. Yeah. It's like the biggest franchise we ever have. And everybody's always talking about Kevin Feige being the greatest director we've ever had. Because
I mean, honestly, like, people are like saying
well, the director has been able to get movies flowing as he has. No director has been able to get through 20 plus motherfucking movies and still be this relevant.
People are like comparing him. Like I was watching something not too long ago. They were comparing Kevin Feige to like Steven Spielberg and like James Cameron.
I mean, he's the modern day version of that. And I know some cinephiles may not agree with that. Because, there are the people that think that movies shouldn't be all about blockbusters and whatnot, whatever the fuck their situation is.
Well, I mean, people are going to say that just because of how popular his movies are and how much money they make.
And it's always
and also because they're comic book movies.
Yeah, but think of they're comic book movies, but they're not the comic book movies that we used to get. They're comic book movies that have been very much so realized in a very realistic way and are done properly. They're not done as a joke. No. They're not done as the story isn't an afterthought and they're just doing a bunch of goofy shit like we used to get. Like, who the fuck directed the Batman movie? The Batman Forever and stuff with Poison Ivy?
That was Tim Burton did the first. I don't know if he did the first one, but I know he did Batman Forever, Batman Returns, and Batman. And then somebody else did Batman and Robin. He didn't do Batman and Robin.
Those movies, I mean, they're
all kitschy.
Very kitschy. And that's what a lot of people just thought of comic book movies as, because they thought of comic books as being a childish thing, so they made the movies and the TV shows they'll make about it a childish thing. But when somebody comes in and makes it more serious, it changes shit.
I feel like,
and I think you can't discredit that.
I feel like who we have to thank for that, and I might be wrong in saying this, so I mean, I don't know who's gonna clap me up for saying that, but
me.
I feel like we have to thank Christopher Nolan.
No, we do have to thank Christopher Nolan. He's the very first one that went in and gave us a serious movie. Actually, no, because Tim Burton he's the one that did the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yeah, but that's not serious.
Let's see, I don't remember it. In my mind, the images that I'm getting is something that's more serious, but then I think back to like, who's a pretty kitty, whatever the fuck she said.
Hello, Miss Kitty. So much yummier. No. None of the Tim Burton movies were serious. They were all very kitschy.
So then what you said was right.
Yeah,
then.
I feel like
Christopher Nolan was the very first one to make it a serious thing.
To make it a drama. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like he really went into the psychology of it, especially with the Batman trilogy. And so I feel like because of him is why we got the movies that we have now. But in regards to Tom Holland, Bob Iger said it was clear that the fans wanted Tom back as Spider-Man made by Marvel and our Marvel production team. And he was like, it was clear that he cared so much and we care about him and he's a great Spider-Man, isn't he? I felt for him, and it was clear the fans wanted this to happen. So I'm glad they listened, definitely, and I'm glad that...
So I wonder, did that make Bob Iger call up Sony and say, listen, we need to talk. And then Sony was like, well, yes, we do, because we saw you just push Kevin Feige over to Star Wars, and we want in right now.
Yeah, I feel like the Star Wars was the nail in the coffin.
For their holdout.
I do, because the next day, I mean, they signed that contract immediately. But whatever it took for me, I don't care. I'm glad it happened. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I love what they've done. And then the setup for the next movie is just everything. Yeah. Everything. I'm very, very happy.
I need to buy the...
yeah, it is on digital now.
So I'm going to go ahead and get it so we can watch that.
Yeah, I definitely need to watch it again. Because I love that movie so much.
It's really good. It's a fucking amazing movie. I have two other topics. Uh-huh. One is going to be really quick because we talked about it at lunch the other day. Okay. Or a break, whatever time it was. But the first one is about Wendy Williams versus Christie Brinkley. Have you heard anything about this?
No.
So, Christie Brinkley is on Dancing with the Stars right now. It just started up and she's on it. You know who Christie Brinkley is? The model?
Yeah, I know who she is.
She's fucking gorgeous, that woman. But Christie Brinkley just started on there. Now, in the middle of her dancing... on Dancing with the... like, they were showing her rehearsals or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's an older woman now.
Is this the one where she fell?
She fell and she fractured her wrist and her arm. They showed her bruising.
And what is she mad because Wendy said it was fake?
Yeah, because not just Wendy saying it was fake, but how she described it. And she was like... because she had fell, and Wendy was like, that looked fake as hell. My thing is, though, I don't know where she got her shoulder was broken from, because I could not find any story saying that her shoulder was broken. It was always her wrist and her arm, which her wrist is showing her x-rays. That shit is shattered. Yeah. That shit is shattered.
Well, she is an older woman. I think that Wendy was very much like, oh, she's just on there to promote her daughter, because that's what she kept saying.
Yeah, that's all she kept saying. Yeah. But she had fell. She fractured her wrist, broke it in a few places. She described a lot of it on The Talk. That's the one with Ozzy Osbourne's wife.
Yes. There's so many of them.
Yeah, are. So I'm just like trying to make sure I say the right one. The Talk, The Real, The View.
I always forget The Real's name. I was like, what is it?
The Unsure?
The Unsure. I'm very unsure about it.
But, so she was on The Talk discussing it, and she showed her x-rays. She even, like, pulled up her, she had this gorgeous pink blazer. I'll show it to you. Uh-huh. She pulled up her arm and showed, she's, like, bruised all right. So she has a cast on right here, of course. Yeah, and then all right here, she just has this nasty-looking bruising. And then she like spit in the hand and wiped her. She's like, this ain't makeup.
I mean, that would be a very elaborate lie.
Yeah. So you were taking this real far. But so she went on there, and I think the reason Christie Brinkley is talking about it, or I don't think, but another reason she's talking about it is because she said, she had said it hurt her to hear Wendy talk about that, because Wendy, she said she was there for Wendy when she started going through this divorce. When she first started going through this divorce, she was the one talking to Wendy about what lawyers to get. She was like, I'm the queen of divorces. I know all about them. Okay. She's been married a few times, apparently. She was like, I know all about them. So she was like, I just gave Wendy a quick call. And she was like, here, this is what you do. This is how you do this. I'll get these people on the phone for you, blah, 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 blah. Just doing all this stuff. And even before that, she said Wendy was the one that called her back when Wendy was doing Dancing with the Stars, which was years ago. Yeah. So they've had a relationship for a while. Yeah. At least some form of one. Yeah. And she was like, and they talked, no, not Dancing with the Stars. It was when she was on Broadway. Because she played in Chicago. She was
Wendy?
Yeah. She was Mama Morton, whatever that woman's name is.
She sang?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't know how good now. Like, maybe not spread that rumor. I just know she played that role.
I would hope she was good.
But she did that, and did I say the name right? Is it Mama Morton or something?
I don't know. Because every time I think of her, she's like, you be good to Mama.
Yeah, she sang that. That's
Mama be good to you.
Because she got the titties. She did a little clip for it on her show. She had sang that part just to give. She was like a little teaser. Yeah, a little teaser if you gotta come see me. And
I'm just shocked. I did not know this at all.
Yeah, so she did, and I knew that she did that. I just didn't know that Christie Brinkley knew her like that. Yeah. So she said Wendy was talking to her and was telling her all this stuff about how she was nervous, she didn't want to do it, and Christie Brinkley was like trying to talk her down. Was like, you have to do this. This will be a great thing for you. Blah blah blah. But anyway, going back to her now, she was like, she was there for her the moment that this divorce situation started going on, and she was like, for you to come up and say this about me, which I mean, Wendy talks about like this about everybody, which I don't know how she has any friends, because I wouldn't be the one.
Like I said, I think I feel like she's known Wendy this long, and like I remember when Nene got on the show, because her and Nene started talking, and now they started back talking, and then Nene was on the show, and she was like, "Oh, you used to talk about me on your show." Wendy does not care about you being her friend.
She doesn't.
And whatever's
I guess Christie was naive enough to think that maybe she wouldn't say it in the way that she did. Now, I don't just based off of how she was talking about it, she wasn't so much concerned about her saying like, "Oh, this is a ploy to get your daughter more famous." I think she was more mad that you thought that she would go through
it was fake.
faking this injury, and the slip didn't look fake to me, especially when she hit that with the way her arm hit that ground. It would hurt me, and I'm young.
You can tell that, but I don't know why Wendy, because I remember watching that clip, because I think that was the first episode when she came back, right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, and she was like, "Oh, that just like she like, cutely fell or whatever," and I was like, "It didn't look, especially not for a woman that age."
Yeah.
I think that. Especially with Wendy having her own tumble.
Yeah.
And now she won't wear heels.
Right. Coming out of these cankles every damn day.
I was like, I'm kind of shocked that she thought that. But, I mean, at the same time, Christie, I think that if you've known Wendy all these years, you know that she doesn't care. She's going to talk about whatever she talks about. And she said for sure when everybody was like, "Oh, now that you've had your stuff in the media, are you going to come back and basically play softball?" And she was like, "No, you're harder than ever." And so I feel like Wendy at this point feels extremely obligated to probably be even more, brutally honest than before, because everybody was expecting her not to be.
But so she had said on the talk, she was also saying how the reason her daughter was because another thing Wendy had said was that she just found it so odd that your daughter was just so ready and willing to be able to get up there and do the dance. And like, I don't find it weird that your daughter was coming to shows with you. Like,
yeah,
I don't understand how that was a weird thing. What the fuck is it, Kevin? Did your kid not come when you were dancing? When you on Dancing with the Stars? Was he not in the audience? Like, I don't get that part. I don't watch Dancing with the Stars, but anytime I see clips of it, usually those people have family and friends in the audience. Yeah. Why was that weird to you? Do you think she was going to be sequestered by herself? Like,
I think Wendy had a good old storyline in her head, and she's going to run with it. And that's what she did. I feel like, also, I don't know if Wendy even truly believed any of what she said. I feel like Wendy is an entertainer, and she's going to say what she thinks is going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And that was entertaining the audience, definitely. So I was like, I don't think that maybe she really, really believed all that she was saying. But I mean, she had her storyline. She got to make it sound good. So there it is.
Even on the next episode when she apologized, I'm doing air quotes, when she apologized for it, she essentially was just like, "I'm sorry if what I said hurt your feelings." She was like, "I'm not going to rehash what I said the other day, but she said, I'm not going to rehash what I said the other day, but I have my opinion of what happened," and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I hate so much when people want to say I have my opinion of what happened. Okay, well, if I'm giving you facts, your opinion no longer matters, bitch.
Yeah.
It'd be different if I didn't have evidence to prove that I hurt myself.
Yeah.
Now, if I was just running around saying, like, in some black room, didn't want to show nothing, like, "Oh, I hurt myself," and I don't have any facts or any proof of the situation, okay, have your opinion, that will stand until I can come out with the facts of this. But you're telling me your facts based on telling me your opinion based on the fact that I hurt myself and I have evidence of it does not matter at all. And you may as well not even apologize. You may as well just ignore the whole situation if you were going to come out there and say that.
I don't see why she did, because that was an apology.
It wasn't.
It's like anytime somebody say I have my own opinion, or it's like, "I'm sorry for the way that you feel," it's like, okay, bitch, you save that apology. I didn't ask for it, nor did I request it, and I don't want it.
Because even at the end of it, she was like, You know, when there's a little situation because she has said, "It still didn't look real to me," or something like that. And I'm just
okay. So that wasn't about you. You still saying that the bitch is faking?
Well, I tell you, if I was Christie, I would have been like, "Give my lawyers back." Forget I called you.
I think honestly, yeah. It must be hard for anybody to be friends with Wendy, I would have to say. And you know, I'm very
and I like watching the bitch, but I know
she's entertaining.
She is, but I wouldn't be friends with her because I would not be able to trust that she wouldn't get on and talk about me, and I would not expect her to go on TV and not talk about me if my business was out in the news.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't want to be friends with you because now I can ignore tabloid, whatever else, talking about me. I don't really care. Know me. Yeah, but the moment that you, knowing me, we talk, you hop your ass up on your talk show and have all kind of shit to say out the side of your neck to entertain your audience, that's not gonna fly with me.
No.
Because your audience gonna be here now. But bitch, when you start crying about this man again, who the fuck you gonna call? Let me see you call one of the audience members. So I don't entertain them so goddamn much.
I know I definitely couldn't do it, and I couldn't be Whitney's friend for the simple fact that I couldn't sit up. Like for instance, you had Whitney's jobs, and I'm going through like a terrible divorce, or having something going on in the media, and then you up there talking about me. And I'm like, okay, now that's a 20-year relationship out the door, because I couldn't. I already have an issue with even thinking about somebody talking about me behind my back. Mm-hmm. If I just feel like you're talking about, my feelings get really, really hurt. You know, I do not like that. It's one thing to talk about something, but if I just feel like you just really talking about bold ass shit about me on my back, I just can't. I do not like that at all, and that's why you have to watch. Like when they say if you have a friend and they talk about other people with you behind their back, they're doing it to you too. I mean, which is true, but that's why I try.
Well, it also depends. If you and I were just regular friends, and I was talking about somebody else behind their back with you. Child, believe I'm probably too. But if we're best friends like we are now and been friends for over a decade, if I'm gonna talk shit about you, it's gonna be to you. Yeah. I'm not gonna go. There'll be no reason for me to go to somebody at work and be like, I can't stay on chemo, do this. Like, I feel like that would not service me in any way.
Yeah.
But because me telling them that you're irritating me. Like if you were just a normal friend and me saying something to somebody that how much you irritate me about something, does something because I'm like, okay, well I'm not gonna talk to this person soon enough. Like I just want to get this off my chest. Yeah. But with us being best friends for a decade and I want to continue that friendship, normally if you're just a regular friend, I don't really care to continue that relationship. Yeah. If this relationship falls apart, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like I will make it fall apart. But if I want to continue that relationship, I'm gonna bring it up to you so that we won't have that issue. Yeah. Like if you're doing something that's bothering me a lot, let me talk to you about this. Let's nip this in the bud right now. So this ain't an issue again.
We haven't had that issue. Yeah. But it's kind of crazy to think about it. But, you know, me personally, I would never say I've talked about anybody behind their back. Because typically if I come back and tell you something, I've already told them that.
I mean, I have talked behind many a person's back. Now, if you come ask me, I'll tell you to your face. Also, I may not have the chance to tell you to your face.
Yeah, typically, but I'm just saying... Anything I were to have said, like if typically if I'm talking to you about something, it's about something I've done or that I've already said to somebody. Yeah. Now, if I happen to talk to you about it first, that means I'm probably going to tell you. So I don't know. I don't think I particularly just talk about it because I particularly don't care. Whatever I think about you, I want you to know it. And if you want to know it, I would gladly tell you. I'm not that person that's like, I'm not passive aggressive in any way. And so anything that's on my mind, I will speak it.
See, for me, it's more of, I'm not here to, because usually my opinion about somebody is mainly about how that person is. And I'm not about making you change who you are. I sense who you are. I see who you are.
Oh, I don't care about you changing it.
I don't want to be near you because of who you are. Now, I may say something to you or Aaron, whoever, I don't like this person because of this. Now, I'm not going to say that to you because it doesn't matter. You through and through. Yeah. Now, you come over and ask me, oh, do you like when I do? No, bitch. I would like for you to change it. See, I don't normally go around and like, again, if we're in the middle of having a conversation and you're there, I will discuss it right then and there. Yeah. But I don't ever just come seek you out across the hall and be like, hey, bitch.
No, I'm not that way either.
Hey, bitch, I can't stand it. The way you eat bothers me. When you strut down this hallway, I want to trip you, bitch.
I'm not that way either. But I definitely feel, because, I mean, we all have our thoughts. I'm not saying I'm just walking up to people and just spouting out my thoughts. I'm not that person. But also definitely I am like I'm very much in control of who I let in my bubble. If that makes sense. I'm very much in control of that. I'm very much in control of every aspect of me. Now, I don't care to control other people. That's not my prerogative. You know, control other people is not my thing. But I'm very much so very, very adamant about controlling what I let in my space. Yeah. And so if there becomes a time where I'm just like, okay, what you doing ain't messing with me. Yeah. it ain't what I want.
It's not what I see for myself.
Yeah. It's not in the cards. It's not in the stars. It's not here. So I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to have to let this go. And I'm just like Keke Palmer. Sorry to this man.
I love that line so much. But I don't even know how much time we have left or what we're at right now. But I didn't do the last story. It's gonna be a little quick thing, I'm sure. Okay. Like I said, we discussed this at work the other day. It's about Kylie Jenner upstaging Justin Bieber's wife.
Justin Bieber's wife, yes.
I just want to discuss this because it irritates me so bad.
I feel like she would have upstaged her either way because who knows the bitch. Do you know her?
I don't.
Okay. Don't invite celebrities. I mean, no matter what she would have worn, she could have came there in t-shirt and jeans, and I feel like she still would have upstaged her.
But so. Whoever Justin Bieber is marrying, I don't know her, don't care enough about her. I assume that she's of some relevance to somebody out there.
Justin Bieber.
but she invited Kylie Jenner and I'm assuming Kylie Jenner and Kendall Jenner to her wedding amongst other people. But Kylie Jenner got a lot of blowback because of a dress that she wore to it. It was a gorgeous gold dress that she had on. People talking about that it was inappropriate for the wedding. And my issue with this is not even just about weddings. It's about people in general when it comes to a friend that dresses well. Yeah. Because if you invite me somewhere, or at least if we're friends enough for you to know me well enough to know that if I'm leaving the house to go to an event, I'm dressing up, I'm going out and showing out.
Exactly.
Like, now, I'm not doing it necessarily to get attention from you, him, her, whoever the fuck. Yeah. I'm dressing up, and I've always done this since I've come into my own person. I dress up because this is how I dress. I'm going to leave out the house wanting to look the best me that I feel that I can look. Yeah. In that situation. Now, how you feel about it ain't got shit to do with me.
No.
If you decided to come to your wedding and not show up and show out, that ain't got shit to do with me, bitch. No. If you came here in this boring-ass white dress, I don't know why you thought I was going to come here looking like a slob to make you look better. No. I wouldn't even have come for myself. I don't know if Kylie would have come there thinking that. I don't know her train of thought. I'm not going to pretend to. But if, let's say we had a friend that was getting married, and we were going to be attending this wedding. Bitch, I'm going the fuck off. I'm about to look as the best I can. But it's not even because that's a wedding. It's because it's a social event.
Well, comparing you and me, I feel like, because we dress up going to the movies.
Yeah, we did.
So, I mean,
to be quite honest,
I
bitch.
mean,
we can go to the mall and dress up.
Anybody that knows us is going to be like, okay, well, they going to look better than us. They ain't nothing. I mean, because most of the people that we know don't really dress.
Yeah. And this is just something that we love fashion. That's something that we just love to do. And so if we go to this wedding and I'm dressed up to the nines, and because of the fact that it's a wedding and it is a higher caliber event to dress up for, I'm going to play that part. So if you thought I was dressed up going to the movies, bitch,
right?
Wait till you see me go to a wedding. And then wait till you see me at gas fashion over. But if you thought I was dressed up well going to the movies, imagine what I look like going to this wedding. And then imagine what I'm going to look like at my wedding. Like, the way that I dress is going to coincide with the destination.
Yeah.
Now, most destinations not require, but are going to get a certain look. And that was going to be a very nice look. But then if we're going somewhere else, like to a dinner party, to a wedding, whatever, okay, we're going to have to elevate this.
Yeah.
And then if it's my dinner party, if it's my wedding, I'm going to elevate it more.
Well, I already know for my wedding, it's something custom made.
Yeah. And so ain't no big single bitch going to come in there wearing what I got on.
And I have designed my wedding dress suit is what I call it, because it's a dress and it's a suit. So, so my wedding dress suit, I've designed it. I know exactly what it's going to look like. It's just, whenever that day happens, I don't know. but
I have more and more been wanting something very much so similar to Garnet's look from the wedding and Steven Universe. I've been wanting something more like as I've been thinking about it. I want something like that
because it's like mine is kind of similar. You've seen my sketch.
Yeah,
it's kind of similar.
But I just really like the way that it looks. And before I didn't really have like a concrete idea. It was just like a bunch of ideas that I would at some point pull together once the time was coming.
Yeah.
But as I've been thinking about it more and more, I'm like, I would just really like that.
I mean, you're closer to it than me. But as you know, the thing I've always said, I always wanted a train. Mm-hmm. I had to have a train. But I was looking at like gay dudes, and I was looking at gay dudes getting married, and the ones that were having trains, and they were ugly, just so ugly.
I haven't looked at anything.
I was like, because I was
usually
trying to get inspiration.
Suit, so.
Yes, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of them, but I saw like it would just be a suit that they had basically like sewn a train on the back of the jacket, and it just looks like just a sheet of fabric back there, and it wasn't meant to be. Honey. But I've custom designed it. I know that I would definitely, if that would be the most money I would spend. Mm-hmm. For my wedding, because I would want a small wedding, me personally. Mm-hmm. It would probably be just like me, you, Aaron, the person I'm marrying, and my mama, my stepfather, and my brother. And that's all that I would need there. Mm-hmm. If some more people come, sure. But that's all I need. I would probably have it at a bed and breakfast, like a really nice older building.
Yeah.
And spend all my money on my outfit.
I mean,
because that's what I would care about.
Especially because this outfit's about to get its work put in. Because I'm about to do photo shoots up the ass in this. We're about to have all kind of shit going on.
I'm going to have, I already told you, you're going to be my videographer. Video the entire thing from me getting ready, probably even from the night before. And because it would be something I want to remember.
Me tacking his wig down.
Right. It would be something I definitely want to remember. I'm very much so a traditionalist Southern person. And a good old Southern belle. And I know, and getting married is a very important thing to me. Mm-hmm. And, I have never rushed into it because, and I remember I was telling my brother I had been proposed to before. And he was like, oh! Did
you get offended?
I think it was, I don't know if it came off as bragging, but I was like telling him I've like been proposed to twice, and I turned it down because I thought that I was too young, and because I always said I wouldn't get married before I was 30, and so I was like, yeah, and he was like, oh, okay.
I was proposed to by Tyson. And then, but Tyson, when he proposed to me, he was already, remember I told you he was moving to Boston because of a job and I was going to go there with him. Mm-hmm. He proposed to me while he was out there. And I was like, you over the phone, bitch. Like, no, I'm going to need you to propose to me in person.
I need to be at the event.
So, I always count that because, or I never really discussed that because I didn't feel like it was an actual proposal. I mean, not to discredit anybody, like I proposed to over the phone, but it ain't for me. Because we were like talking, and it was already in the midst of like making plans for me to come out there. Yeah. And he was like, we were having a talk, and he said something, and I was like, "What did you say?" And he was like, "I want you to marry me." I was like, "Is this a proposal?" And he was like, "Yes, say yes." And I was like, what is this? And it wasn't because I was too young. I never even thought about that. It was more just because if you were going to do this, you should do this before you left.
Yeah.
Before you got on your plane to fly to Boston for this new job and everything, and even though we were making plans for me to come out there later on, this should have been something that you proposed to me. You flew out there, and then we started preparing to make this life together. Don't wait until you get out there and do that. Yeah. And then especially with you doing fuck shit, bitch. Like, nah.
It definitely seems like very, off the cuff. That wouldn't be for me.
Bitch, we talking about popcorn. You want to bring up marrying me?
Right. I was telling you something you meditated, thought about, prayed about. You had to get the stars to line. Because that's a heavy decision, and I feel like people take it far too lightly.
Yeah, they do.
And so,
which used to irritate me all the time when people would ask me and Aaron when we getting married. I'm just like, mind your business, bitch. Like, when we decide to. Like, I know you said you're a traditionalist. I'm not. I'm very much so about doing any and everything else than a tradition. Like, traditions usually bother me. Unless it's something, like, depends on what the tradition is. But typically, I don't really care about a tradition. I'm going to do what I want to do because I want to do it that way.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to marriage, I mean, every now and then I'm like, oh, I'd like to get married. But it was never something that I just really cared about. I never really thought about it like that. Yeah. I know that if I did get married, I would always say that I don't want it to be some huge major event. Like, we can go to the Justice of the Peace. Get this little marriage certificate, take our ass back home, do a good reception, bam, here we go. Like, I'm not really concerned about spending a whole bunch of money for this one day. Now, because I have to think about it more now because I'm engaged, I have thought about, like, I would like to do it at a nice little venue, but it wouldn't be something huge. It wouldn't be like, definitely not a church. So I get the church to burn down.
I feel like y'all should do it. There are some beautiful bed and breakfasts here. Like, I was looking at them just for the hell of it, and I mean, some beautiful venues that you can take some gorgeous pictures. And I just feel like, oh, that would be really cool. You know, and that's why I saw, the only reason I got it, because there was this show I would watch called The Good Witch. And she owned a bed and breakfast, and people would go there and get married. And it never crossed my mind to get married at a bed and breakfast. And, you know, and most of them are like these big, beautiful, like, estates that they just rent out these rooms, you know, and I'm just like, you know what?
It's really strange to me, too, because while I say I never really thought about getting married, I don't know, I feel like it was from a show. It was from a show that I just really loved the idea of being engaged. Yeah. But it never went to marriage. It was always just like, I was always in awe of the thought of about being engaged.
Well, the thing is about, and I remember when we were younger,
being like, oh, my fiance.
I remember when
which
we were
I've had
younger,
to retrain my brain
when I was
to say
it now.
Because I mean, for how many years have I been saying boyfriend? And now, because I remember I was talking to somebody, and I was like, oh, my boyfriend. And I was like, oh, no, my fiance. And then when I said it, I was like, this sounds so pretentious.
But the thing is about that, I remember when we were younger, and you would talk about, oh, I want to be engaged for like 10 years. And I remember you saying that. And
I have just always loved the idea of it. Why I don't know. I feel like it was from a show, but I can't really pinpoint it. So I don't know why. I just always have the thought of like this illustrious engagement.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like people get married too soon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it being drawn out. At least we know we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, because to me, if you can get married and not see it changing the relationship, I think that what happens, especially with people who've been together for a long time, and then they finally get married, and then marriage becomes this whole different thing that they start in their mind changing everything. Yeah. And I was like, if you could just get married and remember that the relationship hasn't changed, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the issue. Is like people's like, okay, well, I done bought the cow. You know,
I bought the cow. I want no more. So we returned it to the farm.
Oh, crazy.
But I just said all of that. We went through all of that just to say how much it irritates me, because I feel like it's always put on people who dress really well in certain friend groups, because you always see those memes and stuff where it'll be like, my friends, there's going to be a casual dinner date. Don't come extra. And then it showed the person dressed in like a fur coat, this big ass hair.
No,
like,
I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me how to dress, bitch. If you're my friend and you know that you're inviting me somewhere and you're worried about me upstaging you, then maybe you need to come better, bitch. Maybe you need to go look at your... invite me.
I'm
fine with staying home.
I truly am. I would not mind. Don't invite me somewhere and think that I'm not going to show up and look the best that I can be. Because what I don't want you to think is, and what I always tell people, I'm not concerned about what you look like. Yeah. So you don't need to be concerned about what I look like. Yeah. Because I don't go to these events and be like, oh, I'm the best dressed up in this bitch. No. I'm dressed the best that I can be. Yeah. That's how I feel. I want to make sure that when I come out the house, I'm putting forth the image of who I am, but also, that I want people to see me at.
I don't think, for both of us, I'm sure, when you go there and if some other bitches dressed nice, I'm not even worried about whether or not they look better than me. I don't even think about it. I don't really look at other people.
I'm complimenting them most of the time. Bitch, your hair looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, if I think they look good, I definitely compliment them, but I don't ever look at it where I don't. It doesn't cross my mind to think that somebody else is dressed better than me.
Yeah, I'm not that person.
I don't think about that at all. I dress the way I like.
I think that's a misconception for people like us that dress up for most places that we go.
Because people are like, oh, you just want to look better than everybody.
Yeah, like no, that's you're pushing your thoughts and your insecurities on me. I have not once looked at your outfit and thought about how much better I look than you. Now, I may say that this outfit ain't good for you, but this outfit wasn't built for your body shape. But I won't say this outfit is less than what I'm looking like. Yeah. That I don't have that thought process.
I don't think about that at all. But I remember back when I was still living in Memphis, this was quite a few years ago. I went to a birthday party, and I wasn't saying I was overly dressed. I was wearing like jeans and a crop top, and like I had a cute wig on, and I had a little beanie that said lumbersexual, and I had something tied around my waist, and I had like some sneaker wedges.
I don't know why I thought you were about to say, and I had some Louboutins. Out of a good red bottom.
Right. I had some sneaker wedges, and I mean, to me, that was pretty dressed down.
Yeah.
But I was there. I was looking cute, I thought, and everybody else was there in like, holy t-shirts and basketball shorts or jeans or whatever. I mean, dressed down. Yeah. And like I said, I thought I was dressed down also. Because it was just a little cute party at a hotel. And when I tell you, they talk so much shit about me. I mean, talking about who this bitch thinks she is.
See, and that's the difference, because it was a bunch of gay people.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's a big difference. Usually, the friend groups that I tend to hang around the most are all straight people, which, I mean, is not an issue to me. I really don't care.
Mind you, I didn't know these hoes. The only person that I knew was the person whose birthday it was.
Yeah. And
I was celebrating their birthday, but all their friends I didn't know. It was me, Adrian, and Otha that went. That was a night. But like they were talking shit about me, and it would keep coming back to me, and then but my thing is about that, and I always say this: you had just as much time to get ready as I did. You probably had more notice, because I think I didn't know about that until the day before. So you probably had more notice than me.
You chose to come out here.
You chose to look like this. I didn't tell you.
Live your truth in them shorts,
yeah,
bitch.
I didn't say one. I didn't think one thing about how these people were dressed. Not one. I didn't know them, didn't care, didn't really speak to them. And but the thing is, there was a couple of girls there, and girls, they always like, oh my God, bitch, you look beautiful. Yeah. But it's the gay dudes
that be real hurt and pressed. Yeah. But I was saying that because, like, when we go out, when we go to Casey Moore's, that's a pretty much predominantly straight venue. Now, gay people will show up there, but for the most part, there's a lot of straight people there. Yeah. And the people we hang around with are typically straight. Yeah. When Solomon had invited me to go to the movies with them to see Crawl, which I still need y'all to see, that movie is crazy. But when we went to go see Crawl, I was dressed down. I didn't do a really beat face. I put on just like, I guess it would be more of like a boy beat. Yeah. I did put on a wig, but I put on that, the wavy one that I have. Yeah. And I just put it in like a little Ariana Grande, ponytail thing at the top, and then let the rest hang down. I had on a regular tank top. I had on those ripped jeans that I always wear when we just going out to do something. Yeah. And some sneaker wedges. And I got there, and two of the dudes were like, "You like a rock star?" And I was like, "Do I?" I was like, I was just trying to get out the house. Y'all gave me like an hour's notice.
It's crazy to me how people they put such little thought in what they dress like. And when like say you or me or just anybody like us go out in just regular clothes, to us it's just regular. They think that is just above and beyond. And I was just like, it's so crazy to me when people. I mean, I don't care, but in comparing, all I know is my experience. I mean, I can think about your experience or whatever, but I know mine, and I know that I put a lot of thought even when I'm dressing down. Yeah. Into what I put on and what I showcase and how I present myself. I'm very particular about how I present myself. And when you think about people who don't think about it, and I'm just in my mind, I'm just like, how could you not? I'm like, because the way you go out into the world is the first thing people see.
And I think that's a big thing for me, because one of the main things my father taught me. You only have, this is not this thing that he made up, but this is something that he instilled in me a lot. You have one time to make a first impression. Yeah. And so, who knows? For the most part, every day you're not going to see somebody that's going to change your life, but that day going to come. Yeah. And you're going to be sitting here looking like you just rolled up off the street. Yeah. And I would rather you see me looking dressed the fuck up than looking at my worst.
Yeah. And I'm very much so, like, if you walking to somebody you used to talk to, or
like,
ex, and you in a grocery store.
Like, what we gonna have behind
luckily,
this?
I don't really know anybody out here, but I remember one time I went to Kroger. And I had an ex there, and this was just one time I went out and absolutely just completely dressed down. And I had to make sure he did not see me because I was just like, no, not today. So yeah, I snuck around Kroger, stuck in the Dodge, make sure he didn't see me. He didn't. But I'm very much no. I don't like nobody see. I mean, unless you live with me, like Kenny and Aaron, they live with me. They see me at my worst. And it's
you can't help that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not about to be getting dolled up to walk the fuck up into the living room. Yeah. Like, I gotta make sure I beat this face when chemo see me.
I'm very comfortable at home. So if you live with me, of course you see me looking a hot ass mess. But once I step outside,
that got cease and desist. Yeah. But this is run on pretty long, but I don't really feel bad about it because it's been so long since we've done the last episode. Yeah. So this is probably about 2 in 1 for y'all. I don't want to put out too many promises. We're trying to make sure we stick this through. It is something that gets us up to actually be active because we've found ourselves in a point where we just be in bed on our days off, and that ain't no good for nobody.
No.
So we tried to come along, and I've said this on other episodes where I just thoroughly enjoy listening to the podcast, and I remember listening to it, and I'm just like, why are we not doing this?
Yeah, I think that,
especially with as easy as it is.
It's very easy.
Literally, I come ask from the other side of the apartment, record, post it.
The thing is, like I say, we have these conversations anyway.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Now I hope that people find it entertaining. I don't know. But from what you said, we had 5 stars on.
Yeah, bitch. Fact check it.
I was shocked to hear that. But always thank you for listening. We enjoy talking. We are actually really good friends, best friends, and this is my only best friend. Oh, dirty bitch.
Discussing behind his back all the time. This is gonna be ASMR shit talking chemo. So we're gonna start off with how much of a basic bitch he is, and I can't stand him. I don't want him to hear this though, so don't tell him I said it. Hey, chemo.
So you have not basic your black hole anuses.
Black holes, suck them up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Again, we do enjoy doing the podcast, even if it doesn't seem like it, since we have so many hiatuses. It's just, child, sometimes things happen. Anyway,
I'm just terrible with time management.
That's why I do want to try to make sure that we record. This doesn't matter to y'all, but we'll record at we have a schedule of let's get up and do a little coffee date at around 11, come in, record, and bam, there we go. At least when we do the coffee date, we can make sure we're not bringing up the same topics.
Yeah.
Not discuss them, but then we'll say, this has been happening in the news a lot. I'm like, oh, I guess it's been happening in the news a lot. I'm like, oh, give me a hint.
What you got?
So, again, thank you guys for listening. We will hit you all back next week.
Also, we're going to do a review for Joker.
Yes, so stay tuned for that, because we're going to see that today. Anyway, say bye to the people. Yeah, say bye to the people, Chemo.
Bye. Bye!